Hey everybody, I'm Jimmy Rance. Somebody wrote me an email suggesting that I talk about this subject matter. And I really thought really hard about it. And to be honest with you, I kind of said no because this subject matter has been beaten to death. And then I thought about it a little more and I said, this really is a topic that we've talked about a lot through the years, but yet it seems like this situation is not getting better, it's getting worse. So maybe I should talk about it. And I'm not going to be really giving statistics and stats and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that. I just want to talk to you like as friends, okay? And what I'm talking about here, and first, I want to thank you. You know who you are, who sent me the email today. Thank you so much. I haven't eaten anything today and I'm a diabetic, so I'm sitting here sucking down one of these things trying to keep from shaking to death till I get something to eat. I want to talk about how we, as the American people, our government, or whoever runs things, we are failing our seniors. We're really failing them really bad. We're literally making seniors out to be criminals just because they're today's poor. And the reason they're poor, it's not because they're lazy or anything. It's because things are so inflated, prices are so high that the seniors living especially on Social Security, you can't keep up. You can't keep up. The average, this is a wide spectrum, I guess, but really the average Social Security check in America is about $2,000 overall. But there are so many people that only make like maybe even under $1,000, $1,400, $1,500, $1,700. Y'all know, everybody makes a little bit different amount because we all earn different amounts and we paid in different amounts all through our working careers. Now, when you look at it as like these seniors who worked all their lives, they played the game fair and square. What happened? Well, there's something called like property taxes, and some of these taxes are like $3,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year. And when you're making anywhere from like maybe $1,000 to $2,000 a month on Social Security, that wipes you out. It creates an emergency situation. And in many cases, it forces them out of their homes because they just can't keep up. So what happens? Where I'm going with this is because I love this lifestyle myself. And I want to start talking about RVs, living in your RVs. What used to be a recreational thing, a vacation, something fun for the family, going out, you work, you get some time, you go on vacation, you travel all over the place. I did the same thing. My family did the same thing. And that used to be our fun. That's what we did for fun. But now it is becoming a way of life. It's almost to the average American person out there that's not in a situation where they find themselves in poverty. They look down upon their noses at people who have to live in their cars and who have to live in their RVs. They look at it as like, man, that is one step from being just totally homeless. They look at you like you're homeless. They look at you like you're a failure in society. And they're not. They work just as hard as you did. Unfortunately, they just they can't keep up with inflation. They can't keep up with the rising cost of everything. And think about it. And for those who don't own homes and they have to pay rent and stuff like that, I don't know what the average rents are, but I bet you they're probably, just for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment or something, it's probably $1,500 or more a month. I don't know. I own my house. I'm very fortunate. I don't know. But if you're even if you make the average $2,000 a month, Social Security, Whenever you pay, say $1,500, let's just say $1,500. I don't know. It may be 14. I don't know. Pick a number, whatever. You probably know more about it than I do. That don't leave much left over. You got to pay some utility bills. You got some health care that you got to pay for. If you have a vehicle, you have to maintain that, keep it registered and plated and all that kind of stuff. You've got to eat. So now you find yourself in a shortfall. So what in the hell do you do? What do you do? Do you have to give up your medicines, which help keep you alive so you can eat? Or do you buy food instead and you just forego, like I say, your medicines, and now you're going to die an early death because you can't keep up financially? What in the hell are we going to do? How can we solve this problem? The high rents, the high property taxes. It's like we're being taxed to death. And it's creating this poverty situations. And you can say, well, a lot of people can go get an RV. Well, you know what? RVs aren't free. They're not really well insulated. They're not really meant to be full-time live-in recreational vehicles. They're just that. They're for recreational use. Not full-time living, most of them. I'd say 99% of them. A lot of people can't even afford an RV, so what do they have to do? Well, they got to go live in their cars. Guess what? There's no insulation. And when it's hot in the summer, and whatever the temperature is outside, it's probably 10 to 20 degrees hotter inside of your vehicle. Probably the same in an RV. What in the heck are they supposed to do? And we've been hearing a lot about this lately, about how a lot of people are making videos about how they're outlawing RVing. It's not that they're outlawing RVing. There's over 200 cities in America that are outlawing you to stay on their city streets. And there are towns that have very small populations, maybe 3,000, 4,000 people, but they only have room for maybe 50 RVs. But what do you do whenever you got about 2,000 or 3,000 RVers out there looking for a place to park? That creates a problem. What are we going to do? And you say, well, they can get on Section 8, man. They can get in, get some low-cost housing. No, you can't. You can sign up for it, yes. But do you know there's like a 5 or 10-year wait for that? So if you're a senior citizen, you're 62 and older, you're going to probably die before you get accepted into the Section 8 program. Where is the fairness here? I could go on and on and on. And then there's health care. We can talk about health care and stuff like that. And we can also talk about, I didn't want to get off into you can have one major repair that you need to do to your car or your RV. And I'm sure a lot of you RVers know exactly what I'm talking about. You're wiped out. Let's say you make $2,000 a month. You're one of the lucky ones. You make $2,000 a month in Social Security, which I guess is pretty good for this day and age. But now all of a sudden your transmission goes down. You blow an engine. You throw a rod. What? You're wiped out. What are you going to do now? You have to put your vehicle in the shop. What do you do? Sleep under a bridge? This is a real problem in America. I don't know if it's a global problem, I don't know. But it's crazy. If y'all hear some background noise, it's my little rat terrier. I gave him a pig's ear. They sell these little bags of pig ears or whatever that is. It's like a little treat. So if you hear him, he's chewing on that right now. It's the first time he's ever had one. He seems to be loving it. There's another thing. You can get towed. You can be parked on the street. You're broke down. You can't move. And a lot of places that do allow you to stay, you have to leave within a certain time period. And if you don't move, the police will intervene. They'll call a tow truck and they'll haul your butt away. You're probably looking at about $1,000 tow bill, just that. And every day that you're in their yard, when they pick your RV up and put you in the yard, you're paying daily fees. You've just lost everything you own that's inside of that vehicle, plus your RV or your car or whatever. It's not fair. This is a rigged system. Again, seniors are being made out to be criminals because they can't keep up with today's rising prices. And it's unfair. I don't have the answer. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. And, you know, it's a shame because the senior, most likely, they worked really hard all their life and they tried so hard to make it. They played by the rules, but they never counted on a system that was going to be so expensive. And every year it goes higher and higher and higher. Very rare does it go lower. I mean, you know, good Lord, man, whenever you go to the grocery store and you just want to buy 1 pound of hamburger and you're paying about $7 for a pound of hamburger. $7. That's outrageous. When you make $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month on Social Security, you're wiped out very quickly. What's the answer? This is a think piece. This is something that I think we need to talk about. I love RVs. I love RVing. I could very well sell my house, buy an RV, and be a full-time RVer. But here's another problem, and then I'm going to close. A lot of corporates, a lot of these greedy bastards, what they're doing is they're going to these campgrounds and they're offering them quite a bit of money and they're buying out campgrounds. And a lot of people go to campgrounds to vacation, like I said, but now when you go to the campground, you probably got half of it is just filled with full-time RVers. There's no telling what kind of people you're going to stumble into there. You're there on vacation with your family, except most of the park is not for vacationing anymore. These are like full-time residents. But what's happening is these corporations are coming in and they're buying up these RV parks and they're putting a little money in them. And now what used to be anywhere from maybe $350 to $900, $1,000 a month, now they turn them into resorts. And now, boom, the prices are astronomical. And you can't afford these resort fees. And then don't forget about the 10-year rule. Oh, your RV's over 10 years old? Sorry, you can't stay in our place. Get on now, get on out of here. Never did like you anyway. Everything is screwed up. We got to fix this somehow. I don't know what we, the people, can do about this, but we got to do something. We can't throw seniors out on the street. We can't do it. Not those especially who played by the rules and they worked hard, only to be forced out into the street, into their cars and their RVs because they can't keep up with the rising prices. What are we going to do? Let's talk about it. I'm Jimmy Rance.